But you do notice. Actually, make a perception check.
22.
Okay, you catch something catches your attention. Footprints in the dust, leading to and from the back of the church.
Okay. Whisper kind of looks back at the party, so I'm assuming they can still see him from where he's kind of hovering in front of the window.
Unless you try to make yourself not be seen, yes.
Okay. He kind of gives them like the universal sign for just 1 second. Alright? And he circles around the building real quick to see if there's any openings, doors, back entryways, open windows, or anything like that.
There is a back entryway, yes. But there is a back entryway, yes. That seems like it's been covered in rubble, though.
Okay.
Well, covered in rubble and boarded up. Barricaded up, I should say.
Okay. Whisper comes back to the group and says, all right. Coast seems clear, though there are signs that someone's been in there. I am going to suggest stakeout. Also, we could use our hound's nose in this scenario to perhaps determine whether or not the people in there are actually people and maybe how recent the scent is.
All right.
Before you do that, I'm gonna activate Greater Serendipity.
I knew you were gonna do that!
Yep.
Also, if it's all right with you, before we enter, I would like to actually try to infiltrate sneakily, and I'll sound the alarm if I run into any trouble that happens to notice me. Sound like a plan?
Vell slithers into the sword,
Oh dear.
Let me give
rolling
you
her
something to...
rolling her eyes along the way.
All right.
Claus gives a bit of a look, but then he remembers what he was talking about earlier, takes a deep sigh, here, let me help, and he pats Whisper on the shoulder. Have right of life.
I solemnly swear to come back if I notice anything.
All right.
All right.
So,
All right.
what does everyone else do?
I believe I was going to use my nose for something.
Okay.
I was saying. So, I was going to suggest the hound approach the door and see if he can smell anything.
Okay. Roll a perception. Breaks the door. Roll a perception check. Add your bonus from scent.
32.
You do smell. There are some old smells. People have definitely been here within the last few days, but there's another smell you're getting on top of it. One that smells even fresher, but it's odd. It's human, yet something's different about it. Like it's been changed. You can't quite explain it. It's certainly not anything that's familiar to you.
So does he explain that to us?
Yeah, it explains this smells changed, almost artificial.
Ooh! I have got my heart out on werewolf. Anybody want to place any bets? I'm betting werewolves.
I'm betting a human dog chimera.
All right.
Both of you are awful.
Says the dragon chimera boy.
All right.
Yes, and I'm a monster.
And I love that dragon chimera.
I cannot tell you how delighted he was by it.
All right. So the bell. So there's a bell tower on this church, right?
Yeah. It's at the back of the church. You could probably fly up to it.
All right. So I tell them, it's like, okay, I'm going to go up to the bell tower. I'm going to come in through the top. I'm going to attempt to survey the area from inside, right? And if I notice anything, I'll report back as soon as I've noticed it. If I don't notice anything, I'll just let you in through the front door.
So,
Sound like a plan?
Sounds like a plan.
All right. And I'm off. Whisper takes off.
So the first thing you notice when you get to the top of the tower is that the bell itself is missing.
Notorious bell thieves, no doubt.
We are not doing Hunchback of Notre Dame 2.
1 second, just changing a few notes.
Right.
So, I'm assuming you ascend down the tower to the bottom, yes?
Alright. So I don't have scent or anything like that, but I do have dark vision.
You're
So
able
do I
to...
see...
If you go to... yes, again, I'm assuming you're descending down the tower?
He's not touching anything, he's just kind of floating vertically downwards inside.
For a while, you don't see anything aside from more footprints, but when you're near the bottom of the tower, you see where the bell went, as it is placed in front of a door leading not to the back of the church, but instead further downwards.
Alright.
The bell placed there as if to block people's way.
Okay. So is there like a door?
There is a door behind the bell, yes.
Okay. Can I access... Do I have access to the door?
If you could, with your telekinesis, if you could squeeze around to be able to make a dexterity check.
10? Just straight up dexterity? 10?
Alright.
This is why you needed me.
You are able to squeeze yourself around just enough that you can get an eye on the keyhole. From there, you could use your telekinesis to lockpick it.
I was more thinking stick my eye to the hole and see if I could see anything on the other side.
That you're not able to do. Sorry.
So, the standard medieval keyholes were just like a straight hole all the way.
How
the key was
about
meant.
I just sort of peek under the door?
Oh, right. I have a ghost with me.
How could I forget about that?
Yes, how
Those are the missions for you!
Okay, I'm gonna try and logic this to make it realistic. Oh wait, I have a ghost.
All right, Vell.
Wait, we have a ghost.
Okay.
All right. My lady Vell, would you please ascertain whether or not there is anything nefarious waiting to kill me on the other side of this door?
This feels
Alright.
very deja vu, but yes.
The
Oh,
last
dear.
time I did this, there was a scary monster.
Oh dear.
She slips under. She slips under the. Should I slip under the door or through the door or through the lock?
Whichever you prefer.
I'll sort of stick myself through the lock because that would be at around waist height, so I may not even have to detach fully from the sword.
Before she goes, Whisper's like, as soon as you find out there's nothing behind there, come right back, please.
Yes. I kind of don't want to be injured, so I'm staying as part of the sword for as long as possible.
Okay.
Okay.
Vell, here's what. Vell, Here's what you see. It is pitch black in there. You cannot see a thing in front of you.
That sucks. Do I have dark vision?
I think you have low light vision, but low light vision isn't gonna help you in this scenario.
Yeah. She kind of retracts back into the sword. There is absolutely no light past that door. I could not see a blooming thing.
Well, okay then. We're gonna do this the old-fashioned dungeon crawling way. Whisper backs all the way up to the ladder going up, and prepares to just make an exit. He then, from all the way at the other end of the room, quietly picks the lock.
Okay. The door, with a little gust of your wind, the door swings open inwards.
Do I hear anything coming from inside?
No, but I'm gonna need you to immediately make a fortitude save.
Thread of life.
Yeah, serendipity is on, so that's nice.
And Kun, you as well.
I don't think serendipity is on, but thread of life is.
Yeah, he's too far away from serendipity, but Kun, make a fortitude save as well.
Cone's outside.
I know.
Yeah, that's making me nervous. Okay.
I rolled a 23. I don't know if that has anything to do with it.
You don't need to make a fortitude save for this one. You're in his sword. You're not in him.
19.
19.
What
20,
about me?
21. Yeah, 23.
Plus greater serendipity. Is that a plus
He's
1 or a
not
plus 2?
close enough. He's not close enough to be affected by greater serendipity.
Kun is.
Cool. What about Kun?
Oh, Kun.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Kun
23.
has greater serendipity.
Is that a plus 1 or 2?
Yeah, and Whisper has the Dread of Life, which means he gets advantage.
Okay. Jeremy, you have to hold your mouth for a second to keep yourself from throwing up as a nauseating smell hits you. It is a rank, fresh smell of bodies, blood, other bodily material. It smells like a slaughterhouse in there.
Oh.
And even though you're far away, the smell is strong enough that with your keen scent, you smell it too.
So, Whisper is going to immediately reach into his pocket, pull out those cotton balls he had originally planned to put in his ears, and shoves them up his nose.
Yeah.
That does deviate the smell. Anyway, so yeah, you've just got a wave of blood and musk and just all sorts of nasty stuff. It smells like an animal's den mixed with a slaughterhouse.
Yeah. Kun reiterates this information to everyone around him.
There are a lot of dead things in there. Oh, gods. Oh.
Are you gonna be okay?
He managed to save to avoid throwing up, but Sirith draws his sword and draws his sword. It's a rather odd curve, sort of like a cutlass or a falchion, as well as slips his sword around onto his arm. We should go after your friend. He places his hand on the symbol. May the light of the blind God protect you all. And he is actually creating a consecration of his own.
All right. So when the door opened, does Whisper see anything inside?
You see a long tunnel going down. It looks like a flight of stairs that have been eroded.
And I'm like still like on the second floor of the church, right?
You're at the base of the church. You're at the bottom.
I'm at the base. Oh, the bottom of the. So okay. So I assumed that the tower only made it to the second floor. So I'm.
No.
It was all over the base.
Yeah, no, this was a single-story church. The tower went right down to the ground floor.
All right. So where am I in relation to that? Am I like in the main auditorium with the pews and stuff?
So essentially, there is a room behind the pews in the auditorium. There was a second, smaller room where the tower chamber, you could say, was behind the auditorium. You're in that room, and on the left-hand side of the tower, there was a door leading out of the church, and on the right-hand side of the tower room, there is the door that you've just opened.
Okay, so nothing in the immediate church bottom floor area is indicating threat.
Nothing.
Okay, so once I've determined there's no threat down there, I just go. I'm gonna, I suppose, go back up and fly back to the party.
Well, you don't need to do that, as they've already kind of come running into you when they heard the smell. So,
all right.
Either way,
when Whisper sees them, he's like, "Guys, I had this."
Also, Klaus, now you have to roll because oh god, the smell.
Oh boy!
Yeah, is it still dark in here?
It is dark. It's not pitch black, but it's dark.
All right.
So if you have low light vision, you'll be fine.
Just in case. Mass meld 3 targets, granting 3 people dark vision. For 50 minutes.
Those who want to put up their defensive, who want to start putting up their buffing or defensive abilities, they can do that now.
All of a sudden, a gigantic golden knight suddenly drops down from the ceiling, lands in a superhero pose, and draws out a scythe, emitting a gentle golden light. And suddenly, adding to the blood and slaughterhouse smells, Kuhn, you kind of smell the scent of a dude who has peed his pants, as the dude with the falchion just is like, what the frick just happened?
I'm sorry, Klaus, but I am not okay right now.
Klaus gently pats Kuhn on the back.
In all my years, I have never come across this situation, and I am not entirely sure how to handle it.
I would say take deep breaths, but...
No.
Oh, great minds think alike.
Would anyone happen to have a perfumed handkerchief for him?
Jeremy, just checking, Jeremy.
I'm sorry, all of my clothes are incorporeal.
I need to ask Whisper if he carries soap on him. He's my last hope.
Oh god.
He's your last hope.
Whisper smiles and says, "As it so happens, I do." I'm gonna go into the deep, dark, scary room and see what I can see without being seen myself. And then as soon as I find the baddies, I'm gonna come right back, tell them the number and nature of our baddies.
All right.
He's gonna Steve Irwin it.
All right. So, does everyone stay behind and let him do that?
I mean, we don't have much of a choice. I mean, we do have a choice, but the choices aren't smart.
I'm still in the sword. Oh, hey, actually, that's a good point. Hey, you know how you said that you'd probably send Mr. Fluffles out if there was a problem? I think there's a problem.
Mr. Fluffles is nowhere near as tiny with legs. It would take him hours to get to Korim.
I tried.
You could still try, but I think he'd probably pass out from exhaustion before he ran that far. Gods are like on
You,
the other side of the city at this point.
Yeah, wanna try and contact him with telepathy or something?
Again, other side of the city. I don't think Oz reaches that far.
Rabbits.
I'm good, but I'm not that good.